Hey John, I'm going to try a video response to your images. Thank you for being the first one to post, and um, nice job overall. So I thought I'd go through the pictures one by one and take a look with you. I'm reading that you were trying to capture interesting viewpoints while maintaining contrast and unique composition. With the lack of sunlight, I found this difficult. Um, Actually, for the subject matter that you did shoot, having no sunlight was a big plus. Shooting under sunlight can be difficult and very contrasty at times. The difference between the shadow area and the highlight areas in under full sun conditions is greater than most camera sensors can handle, and editing therefore becomes more difficult. Subject matter wise too, things that are metallic and reflective, as you mostly photographed here, work much better on a cloudy or rainy day. Okay, so let's go look at one by one. I like this extreme perspective here and the semi-narrow depth of field. In other words, it's out of focus in the foreground and then it gets sharp around this point in the frame and stays pretty sharp all the way to the back. Judging by the size of this frame, it seems like you may be shooting with a phone, which is okay. My only criticism of this piece would be, and it's minor, but this is where Photoshop comes in. Notice how along the edges out here, it's a little bit bright compared to the focal point, which would be this sharp area of the fence. One question we always ask when looking at a picture, that I ask anyhow, is where's the focal point? In this case, right here. And then what takes your eye away from the focal point, if anything? And the answer to that is brighter areas, especially along the edges. So that would be here. So to correct that, what we do is put this in Photoshop and select around these areas, feather it out, and then use image, adjustment, brightness, contrast, and then we can selectively darken this relative to here and improve the quality. Moving on. Notice how actually I like this one better because of what I just said about focal point and light. So here again, where is the focal point? And it would be the rust spots on this metal and the shininess of the metal right here, where it's sharp. And what takes your eye away from this? Nothing, because the light come together with the sharpness, with the detail and the texture, and everything else falls off in terms of, it's nice to see the depth of field fall off and it goes out of focus here. And it's quieter and light, so this doesn't need much at all. In fact, it's good just the way it is. Okay, this one's a little trickier because of, again, the same issue. Where's the focal point? And it's this interesting shape right here. Can't quite identify the object, but the metal and the welding is pretty cool. And the background is not too bright, but it's a little bright. But it's fine. I like how you moved in and filled the frame and put this over to the side. The composition is quite good. This one and the next one are all about a principle of design called unity and repetition. You set up a motif of this vertical element and it repeats over and over again. Focal point is here where it's sharp, and again at this edge it could be darkened a bit on that edge as well in order to bring your eye back into this point. Good one again, same idea of repetition and unity. We have this shape that repeats and this shape, and using a wide-angle lens probably on your phone is what keeps this depth of field pretty sharp from front to back. So I'm wondering about this shot, if you're still using the phone or if you're using it looks like it could be a DSLR in this case because the frame size is more rectangular, or it's not as elongated as this one is. And the narrower depth of field tells me that you're using a more telephoto lens that you'd find on a DSLR. Also, the larger sensor on the DSLR make for this kind of depth of field fall off. Okay, all that said, probably again for the same reasons, this top left corner takes your eye away a bit from the central focal point region. And that could be dealt with either by darkening it a little bit and or cropping it. But I wouldn't necessarily jump to cropping because of the added repetition of this element. So just a little darker and that would come back nicely. Overall, well done. I appreciate that you're paying attention to composition and moving in and filling the frame. So keep up the good work. See you in the next